This world shall know pain.
What's up, y'all? We back at it with another chapter, man. It's crazy. It's only been 5 chapters, but I feel like we've gotten so much when it comes to this series. And we get a lot of information on the pack that, Ku as well as, Chiyou actually formed together. We about to dive right into it, man. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell. So right off the bat, when we get introduced to, Chiyou's friend, I don't know why I thought it was the little imp-like creature. I didn't think it would be the tall guy, but it turns out it's the actual tall guy. And you have it where Chiyou's looking at her, looking at him, saying yo, why would you fall for a trap like eating that donkey meat and becoming an ass? I thought that was hilarious as hell. I was dying laughing. And you have it where he's like, yo, I really didn't even want to eat it, but look at this adorable friend of mine or companion. You know what I'm saying? She started eating the food and then she stuffed some in my mouth because she said it was so good. Right off the bat, if that was the case, once I got restored back to normal, I would have popped the hell out of my friend. Granted, she is adorable, but you know what I'm saying? The fact that she could have cost both of us our lives on some dumb food, I don't know. I would have had to get some get back in some type of way. But you have it where, her friend is trying to, observe, Chiyou's face and touch it and everything. But, of course she pushes him away and then he goes to check out your boy, Ku. And you have it where he's like, yo, I don't see, the normal, the normal seal on you. What's going on? And then he realized that the pack that Chiyou and Ku made is completely different. And he says he's not like most of the monsters, like Chiyou. He's the type that's all about knowledge. He doesn't really do the whole devouring human type of thing. But he goes to explain the seal that he has, that your boy Ku got from Chiyou. And he says this is a rare one. This is one that only really benefits the bearer. And he gets pretty much, Ku gets all of the powers of Chiyou. And the only drawback is if he happens to die, Chiyou herself loses her life. So that was the price that she made in order to give him power. And I feel like it was more so she wanted to give him power to defend himself, not necessarily give him power to help restore her body. I feel like all that stuff she'd been saying in the previous chapters were just lies to make it seem like she wasn't, concerned about him, like she wasn't overly protective of him. The power she gave him, the pact that she made with him, I feel like she did it more so for his benefit. But he's hearing all of this for the first time. He's finding out yo, if he dies, Chiyou dies along with him. She's putting all her hope and faith in him as far as trying to retrieve the rest of her body. And that's just insane to think that she would make such a gamble. You know what the series really reminds me of? It reminds me of Inuyasha. I don't know why. It just reminds me of Inuyasha and Kagome and how they were going on the adventure to get the sacred jewels. I don't know why, the sacred jewels being the body parts of Chiyou in this series, but I just really get Inuyasha vibes, and I'm all down for it because I really love Inuyasha. It was that shit back in the day. You remember those 2 a.m. mornings waking up to the song, the outro. But anyway, you got it where your boy Ku, he's just really shocked, and he's a little wondering why she would put such a burden on herself by making him be the one that has to get her, retrieve her parts in order to restore her. And he's feeling like it's something he can't live up to. He's feeling like it's something he will fail at. He's just a normal person. You even have it where, Chiyou friend is observing Ku and he's looking at him. He's like, yo, he has a frail body. He's not the strongest human. There's nothing really special about him. He has no idea what he has in store. The different type of monsters he's going to have to battle in order to get her body parts back. Some that are very powerful. And you have it where this guy actually goes to tell Ku a little bit of, Chiyou's backstory and how she was the monster of war, god of war. She was very powerful. She had heaven and earth, split amongst two. She's damn near destroyed the world at some point in time. People hated her. They feared her. But at some point in time, they would manage to defeat her, and they, chopped her body up and put it all around the world. you know, but finding out how powerful and how feared she was, just shocking because of how nice she acts. You wouldn't think she was this type of monster, but you see that she's changed over her time of being isolated, and then just over the time that she spent with Ku may have opened her heart. And you got it where her friend is asking like, yo, what made you do this? Like, what made you choose to go this path with this guy? You know, what made you choose this type of pack as opposed to taking over his body and making him your slave? And you have it where she's like, yo, I pretty much raised him, you know, like, I think he's just as capable a human as any other, you know, he's special to me, pretty much is what she's saying. And you got it where Ku is hearing these words and he's thinking like, yo, had it not been for her finding me, he doesn't know where he would be. But he's pretty much saying like, yo, you know, he's gonna live up to what she believes in, and he's gonna try his best to acquire all of her body parts, and he's going to try to make sure he doesn't lose his life because he doesn't want her to lose his life. And then you have it where he looks at her and he says like, yo, it wasn't right for you to keep this from me, but you know, your life is in my hands and I don't plan on throwing it away. And you have it where the guy's smiling, you know, her friend is smiling, saying like, yo, you know, monsters aren't really like this. He's very loyal and faithful. That's something we could never be. And meaning that her kind only knows how to backstab and betray one another. And I'm curious to see if maybe at some point she might actually do try and betray him, but maybe so to benefit him. I don't know, maybe that might happen at some point in the story. But anyway, you have it where her friend says like, yo, well, your first person you're going to go after is this like tiger man beast who pretty much has one of her body parts, and he's been feasting on several humans. Now I'm not sure if it's like Demon Slayer where the more humans they feed on, the stronger they become. They didn't really say that, but the fact that he pointed out that this monster feasts on several humans already, I wonder if that was a hint to let us know like these guys become stronger with the more people they devour. But you got it where your boy Ku, he doesn't seem too scared, but you have it where you know, Chiyou friend is saying like, yo, he has no idea what's in store for him and how hard a journey this is going to be, how powerful these opponents are. He has no idea, but he's going to learn soon enough. And you even have it where Ku is thinking to himself like, yo, he's about to learn the hard way. And that's pretty much all we get in this chapter. Like, it was pretty much just nothing but heavy dialogue. It did have some funny moments, but for the most part, we just learned a lot about, you know what I'm saying, Chiyou's past and about the pact that she actually formed with Ku. All in all, I really rock with it. I would say this is a solid 7 out of 10. But I'm curious to see what happens in the next chapter when they go to face off against this man-eating tiger that nests in this abandoned temple. I'm curious to see how this actually goes down. But let me know your thoughts down below, and if you like the video, please subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.